CrypticCorner and talk about, well, yeah, talk about some Sasquatch skulls. So I hope you guys are ready to look into that. So what is going on here? So the headlines are reading. Yeah, Julie, you really can't because you all. You had your mayfly bloom yesterday, Jenny. Oh goodness. I'm gonna come back and talk about this stuff after Cryptic Corner, but yeah, junk shopping was coined by Junk Shop Library. I need a meme to pop up on the screen when I start junk shopping, so that like a meme with maybe that would where junk shops got their head shaved and they got their little glasses on and they got their these on and they're like and maybe put it in like a off color like an 80s kind of style. Say junk shopping, junk shopping ... or something like that every time I start junk shopping. Anyway, yeah, the Coyote Peterson thing. Yes, Ring. We're gonna get into that. So the headlines, headlines all over. Headlines at yeah. Well, let me show you. My transitions are going to be kind of slow. Oop, I don't want to show you my freaking YouTube studios. I wanted to say this. Make sure that it's flipped over. Come on. Yeah, this stuff's all really going to run really slow, so I'm sorry. Well, yes, I have a HiveScience account, but I'm not going to log into it right now in the middle of my stream. So, scientists dismiss Coyote Peterson's large primate skull discovery as a fake. Of course, it's a fake, but let's explore it anyway. Because I'm Bree, and this is what I do. This is what HiveScience is all about. And hopefully, you all can still hear me and see me. Well, did that, hopefully that worked, and we are getting a better, clearer signal now. I'm not so choppy. I hope so, anyway. Back to this skull. Thank you, everybody, for sticking in there with me. I know, like I said, this was going to be a technical issue heavy episode anyway, so I do appreciate everybody sticking around, and well, some of y'all sticking around. I did lose a couple of viewers while I was dealing with this stuff, but that's okay, because I'm not going to stream any more videos for this show. So first half an hour is a bust. So yeah, I guess I will remember to plug in. There's a few places around the house where I can reach. I was gifted a very, very long Ethernet cord, so I can shuffle things around and make it reach different areas, so I don't have to be in this stuffy little office here. No, you didn't miss anything, Pixie. I'm still getting started here. Yeah, my video may still be choppy because, again, I'm still on rural Missouri internet. So they're still burying. The fiber cables are still laying on top of the dirt with the orange paint, telling the crews where to bury them all over the area up here. They're just now getting up to date. This is like for this area, getting high-speed internet and fiber internet is new to them. It's like when the electric grid came through and the local people were culture shocked about it. Yeah. Hey, Regios. No, you're fine. I'm just getting started. We had all kinds of technical difficulties at the beginning of the show because I'm new setup. I've moved locations twice for anybody just now showing up. I started outside because I wanted to do something, and then it was a nice day out. Too choppy, and the air conditioner, for my opinion, was too loud out there. So then I moved into the living room, but without the Ethernet cable, it just was still too choppy and breaking up. So now here I am back in the office where I can plug directly in. So you didn't miss anything, Gurr. You didn't miss anything, Pixie. You didn't miss anything, Regios. I watched like the first 45 seconds of a Coyote Peterson video where he was finding a Sasquatch skull in the Pacific Northwest, and it showed them they were, you know, oh, it's a bear skull, and then it looks like a human eye socket, and they dig it out, and it's a skull that looks much like the one you see on my screen right now. Skull's likely a cast, experts say. Yes, so we're gonna nip this in the bud and people are talking about this on all my crypto channels that I subscribe to. You know I do. I have to keep up on it. All of those are a buzz with that. Squatch Talk had a 2-hour stream about it last night, and there's other channels that did long streams about it, other channels that released little short videos. I imagine those are probably all going to be disappearing as fast as they went up, because when Peterson did this, and I've got things to say about Coyote Peterson and what he does, and it's not, and that may sound like I'm about to lay into Coyote Peterson. I'm not. I like Coyote Peterson. Coyote Peterson's an inspiration to me to do more of the backyard safari stuff and explore the world that way. And I plan on doing that more. As a matter of fact, once HiveScience hits 1,000 subscribers, I do intend to I do intend to start a second channel just called Backyard Safaris or something of that nature, that is for adults and children alike, where we go out and explore that kind of stuff. But Coyote Peterson was a big inspiration to me to do this on YouTube. You know, I'd always grown up with the nature show people, obviously Steve Irwin, but Jack Hanna when I was a little kid. Jack Hanna was one of my favorite things. When I'd see Jack Hanna was going to be on one of the late night talk shows bringing animals on, I would beg my parents to let me stay up and watch it. I would absolutely beg, because that was my favorite thing. Like Jay Leno or Conan O'Brien or any of these 90s TV show hosts, they'd all have Jack Hanna or Steve Irwin, or they have Jeff Corwin on there. Jeff Corwin's all right. Pretty cool character. Obviously, my favorite was the Irwins, just because of the enthusiasm, and that that Steve was a passionate creature. He loved all living things. He reminds me of me. So, Coyote Peterson, though, he comes into the footsteps of this on YouTube, and kind of he's the big one. There's other ones too that people Snakes Snakes Adventures. They're great, another animal show or animal channel, but Coyote Peterson's the one that gets out there and goes in the desert and finds these creatures, mostly reptiles and arthropods, what he focuses on. He does do mammals and birds and stuff too, but he focuses on a lot of the creepy stuff and kind of bringing it to the attention of the people and making sure that it's well known and well understood. So I like that about Coyote Peterson. What I don't like is the enter the sting zone hype, or the bite zone, or whatever you want to. He started off doing snapping turtles, and they'd let them bite on the I guess it was like an armor thing, and to see what kind of damage they do and stuff like that, which I like. I like those research projects. I like there was a big research project about crocodilians a while ago that I had all kinds of papers on that had all the graphs and schematics of how they. I'm getting off track, but yeah, I do like that type of research, and I am into it. So that's what got me into it, or got me into Coyote Peterson. And I just love animals. So my daughter also liked Coyote Peterson, and my sons both, for the most part, like Coyote Peterson. But I am drawn into his sting zone videos and bite zone videos, but I get what it's an entertainment thing, but the reactions that he has to some of these stings and bites are overblown. And you can look, you can go out on YouTube and see other people in the community, in the entomology community, in the entomology nerd community, in the bug nerd community, going out there and doing stings and bites with these same organisms to say, no, it's not really this excruciating, screaming, howling, curling up on the floor. Generally speaking, I mean, there are people who have bad reactions, and maybe Coyote Peterson is one of these people. And if that's the case, he probably is not the best candidate to be going out there and testing these organisms to see if their bites are deadly. And there's ways that you can, or if their bites are painful. Sorry, not deadly. Obviously, he's just checking them off on the sting scale. Anyway, keep getting distracted about stuff. Sorry. He makes it seem like these organisms are monsters. Is basically the problem. And as someone who has just moved into a home with a brown recluse issue, I do understand trying to make people aware of the danger of bites and stings, but let us not overblow and make people panicky. Make people think that they're going to be going into convulsions or whatnot. They just, when you get stung by a tarantula hawk, for instance, that's one that I just thought he was overblowing the reaction to. If you get stung or bit, it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. Stay calm. Apply first aid to the area and go to the emergency room or go to the urgent care. Get yourself checked out. Get yourself they're going to give you like a Benadryl shot, usually, or probably an EpiPen. If you go out, I used to have an EpiPen. I don't have it anymore, of course, because I'm not. Anyway, neither here nor there. I would like to get one on hand, though, because I don't handle my venomous creatures too much anyway. So I'm not too bad about it, but I'd like, if I'm going to do backyard safari stuff, especially if I'm going to be traveling doing that. And since I have somebody else who can drive, maybe in my life, for a change, because I do have plans upcoming to be taking on a roommate. I will maybe be able to travel to some areas and do some backyard safari stuff. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. Anyway, so back to Coyote Peterson. So there's the good things about Coyote Peterson's channel, and there's bad things about Coyote Peterson's channel. I say they're bad things. They're bad things to me. I don't like that. I don't like the exaggeration of the way to react to these animals stinging you or biting you. That's not a good way to react. Doing these going into dramatic throws about it is not how you need to be responding. You need to be trying to collect yourself. Yes, you're going to be in blinding pain with some of these organisms. It may be, but it does. You need to get yourself moving. You don't just go into death throes. Okay, disclaimers there. Okay, so he's an entertainment channel, and they're going out there looking for Bigfoot, and they stumble upon this skull in the mud, and they pull it out. It's a Bigfoot skull. Or I don't know what it is. It's got a bullet hole in its head. They say it sure looks like a Bigfoot skull, and they shows them packing it up and carrying it to the airport, and then it cuts to their title screen, and we get like an expose about what Bigfoot is, where the legend comes from, a little history, Patterson-Gimlin footage, the Bluff Creek footprints, all that good stuff. They go over it, Creationist Peterson does. And then he talks about the ecology of a Bigfoot. Where does it sleep? What does it eat? All these things that I love to talk about, and that's what I'll go on Squatch Talk and kind of poke at him about, because you all know, not everybody at Squatch Talk seems to realize, but ecology is my passion, and I spent time growing up going out and my mom doing surveys, land surveys and stuff, so I know how this data is collected about the environment and what organisms are present there, and what we need to do to balance that. It was what I did a lot. My best friend, who I think is still out there in the side chat, unless she's bailed on me, which is okay. I still love you, Amanda. Is environmental. She does environmental science for a living. She's out there doing these surveys now, or she actually, people like my mom and go out and collect these surveys. My mom doesn't do it anymore. She's got an office job now, but she used to when she was younger. Go out and collect this stuff, and they give that data to scientists like Amanda, and they build schematics on how the organisms in the area are doing, and what kind of changes we can do to the environment to help, and that includes stuff agriculturally, because people don't realize how much agricultural land, farmland, depends on having flourishing like meadowland and stuff too, because it needs a balance. We need places for the different organisms that till the soil and keep things balanced are able to flourish. Now, they won't flourish in the agricultural land, but we need to make sure they flourish in the area so that they don't die out when we rotate our crops. I'm getting into a lot of ecology here, I'm sorry, but just this basic rundown of the way that's going to work. So Coyote Peterson and his crew do kind of talk about that. Where would these things live? What would they eat? What kind of traces would we expect to find of them? And then they find the skull. They do give a disclaimer right in the video that this is a what if scenario. It's a what if. It's like Marvel's What If. This is not actually something that happened. This is them running through how they would think you should responsibly respond to finding Bigfoot remains, and the pulling it out and everything. It's a skit. It's a sketch that they're doing, but nobody seemed to pick up on that. Or at least I don't know. I didn't watch all of Pat's video. I'm sorry, Pat. I love you. You're freaking cool as hell, and I love talking Squatch with you. But I don't know if you watched the whole video before you went and did your 2-hour stream on it or not. And I didn't watch your video to see if you said yes, this is definitely a staged thing that was done on purpose. I don't know if you did or not. I didn't watch your stream. I'm sorry. I did see that you streamed for a long time about it. I did watch the first few minutes, but I know that you could have been just eludating and kind of pulling the audience in too. I like to do that as well, so I get that. I will. So I'll reserve judgment on that. But I do know that some of these folks that are putting out the little short clip videos were taking it seriously. Is this a YouTuber finds Sasquatch skull in British Columbia is all the rage. Let's read what our experts at HiveScience when interviewed by HiveScience have to say about it. Okay. A large primate skull was allegedly found in British Columbia by American YouTuber Coyote Peterson. According to social media posts he shared on Thursday, July 7th. In those posts, Peterson wrote that he had hid the discovery for several weeks from government officials and any others who might try to seize our footage. I think they meant to say seize, but they put cease. I don't know why cease, like cease and desist. I think they meant to put seize, like SEIZE. I'm critiquing the editor at HiveScience. HiveScience again. HiveScience to HiveScience. Question your editor of our excavation. However, experts told HiveScience that Peterson's claim is highly suspect, and that secretly extracting and transporting animal remains across national borders may be illegal. I'm not sure these pictures will be taken down, as will probably I'm sure these pictures will be taken down as probably the video by government or state officials, but the skull is safe, the post read. So maybe I was directly quoting something Coyote Peterson wrote. In that case, it would be Peterson's editors that made the clerical error there. But I digress. I'm not perfect. I make clerical errors all the time. But I cannot explain finding a primate skull in the Pacific Northwest without wondering, what do you believe? There are no large primates currently living in North America other than humans, and though tales of elusive forest-dwelling hominids such as Bigfoot have persisted for centuries, there's no evidence to suggest such creatures exist. Checking on my live chat real quick. I gotta click away to do that. Are we still going? Are we still there? Is everybody still with me? Sorry, it's catching up. It gets laggy. Big Zebra came in. Hey, Big Zebra. Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat. Is that any better? Is that any better at all? I don't know. Good grief, I'm sorry. Is that any... I hope that's better. Let me know. I only have one screen right now, so I'm popping back and forth, and I wasn't checking the chat. I'm sorry. Oh, this is going like a total shit show today. Yeah, they give you a disclaimer on the Peterson video that it's staged. I don't think they ever make any kind of claim that it's real. I had my mic all jacked up. Sorry, it's... Ooh, yeah. And now I'm all flustered. What a pain in the butt this morning has been. I'm just trying to do my show and it sucks. But at least I got my OBS back. Thank you so much to my friendly donor. So yeah, the skull. The skull is likely a reproduction. It's likely yeah, Peterson best known for... I'm going to continue reading this now that I got better sound. Okay. I'm sure the pics will be taken... Okay, we already went over that. Peterson, best known for his YouTube channel Brave Wilderness and for hosting a series called Coyote Peterson Brave the Wild on Animal Planet, also wrote that he'd released footage of the skull on YouTube this weekend. But in the meantime, scientists have reacted to his alleged discovery on Twitter, questioning the credibility of the claim and suggesting that Peterson's actions, as described in the post, may cross ethic and legal lines. John Colby, a science consultant at National Geographic Explorer with expertise in wildlife trade, wrote that smuggling any primate specimen into the United States, even if found in the wild, is illegal. Pinging at Coyote Peterson for your information, because US FWS or CBP might not be okay with this, even if you think you found Bigfoot. Yinan Wang, a graduate student at a geospatial intelligence program at Johns Hopkins University, geologist and author of the 50 State Fossils, a guide to aspiring paleontologists, noted that Peterson's skull closely resembles a cast of a gorilla skull that's available for purchase on AliExpress. In a tweet, Wang included a side-by-side comparison of the AliExpress product and the photo shared by Peterson. This is undoubtedly a gorilla skull, as is obvious from the numerous anatomical details and is verified by a list of experts. Darren Naish, a vertebrate Darren Naish, paleontologist and science communicator in the UK, told HiveScience in an email. Also, it seems to be identical to a commercially available cast of a specific gorilla skull. We can't straight away shut down the idea that it might be a real skull of an unknown primate. Nope, it's a cast of a known species, Nash said. Yeah, and Darren Nash is freaking brilliant at busting crypto stuff too. I have his books in my wish list, or my I guess I need a new wish list for my new Amazon account because I had to change that, make a new one. So I'll make a new wish list and I'm going to put Darren Nash's books in there because I love Darren Nash. In his post, Peterson said that he's still in possession of the skull and that the specimen is safe and awaiting primatologist review. The secure location of the skull isn't specified, but if it's in the U.S., Peterson's post would suggest that he somehow smuggled the specimen across the U.S.-Canadian border. If the skull is indeed genuine, such an act would be illegal because transporting biological specimens and wildlife products or parts like bones to the U.S. typically requires permits from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and or the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, according to the U.S. Customs and Border Protections. Furthermore, the movement of primate specimens is regulated by CITES. CITES is another thing I suggest that everybody make themselves familiar with, because if you think the animals are doing all right, they are not. And I'm going to plug my PC in real quick here. I'll be right back. Oh, that's better. Okay. So, did I lose everybody yet? Did I lose anybody? Mic right now, Greg. Don't even have a mic. It's just the one that's on the webcam. So, thank you for sticking with me with the audio issues, with the technical issues. I've maintained at least 8 people in here pretty consistently this whole time. So I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with me while I try to do live from the Hive on location, I guess, in Missouri. Am I buffering again? I may just have to cut it short here. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to wrap it up in a second. I may just turn my camera off, actually, and do it that way. And I'll turn my, because that looks weird, I'm going to turn my comb off too. There we go. So I'm just going to go off camera for now. Hopefully... Yeah, man, I need to get someplace with some better internet. I realized I was going to have all this freaking trouble. And I guess I still have my Today in Science scrolling up there from God knows when. Yeah. Furthermore, the movement of primate specimens is regulated by CITES, an international treaty aimed at ensuring that international trade of wild animals and plant specimens does not threaten the survival of those species, Nash told HiveScience. You might argue, then, that it's very irresponsible to imply that a person might find a primate specimen in the wild and then just move it around. And if Peterson found the skull in a national park in Canada, his actions would be illegal under the Canada National Parks Act and National Parks General Regulations, according to Parks Canada. These regulations state that it is unlawful to remove. Anyway, they go into a whole bunch of the stuff about how he'd be breaking the law if he actually did this. But this was all before. I think this is all based on like Twitter posts and stuff that they were making these responses, and everybody's getting involved, saying, "Hey, this is illegal. You shouldn't be doing this." Before the video released, now we know maybe that it's a hoax, not a hoax, but it's a prank, bro. It's actually just a recreation, an art piece, if you will. They're trying to be entertaining. Hey, Pixie, it's good to see you. Glad you're here. We'll have one. Is the audio cutting too, Greg? Anyway, that's so that's going to be our cryptic corner today. Is talking about Coyote Peterson and his alleged skull. But when the video released this weekend, I watched it 3 times, and they are very clear that this is not a real thing that is happening. It is a reenactment, if you will, of how they are, again, a what-if scenario if they actually found something when they were out exploring the Pacific Northwest. So, that is, Cyrinus, good to see you. That is going to be our cryptic corner for the moment. I am going to just pop out here real quick again, and I'm trying this to see if it works. I'm not actually leaving. I'm not actually over, but let me see if this works for us.